What is going on, guys? My name is Munchables and welcome. It's that time of week again where I can invite you to Munch on This, the show where we take a closer look at the thoughts and minds of our Hearthstone contenders at the ESL Premiership. Now, last week, in case you missed it, we had a chat with Ball Control about the new expansion Journey to Un'Goro and what his expectations were going to be going on in. The link to that video is down in the description. This week we're going to be talking to one of his teammates. It's Ness, also from Torpedo, and we'll see how he's feeling, first of all about the Premiership, but second of all about how he likes the new expansion. So firstly, I'd like to welcome you to the show. Ness, it is a pleasure to have you on.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's a real pleasure to be here.
So Ness, this is your first season here in the ESL Premiership. For anyone who's been watching the Premiership but doesn't know you as a player, do you want to introduce yourself just a little bit?
So I've been playing Hearthstone for about 2.5 years now. I didn't manage to get into the Premiership the last 2 times it was on. Unfortunately, in the qualifying stage, I missed out by just a tiny margin. It was quite unfortunate, but I'm here now and I'm ready to show that I'm also one of the players who can win the Premiership.
Well, you're here now, Ness, and that is the main thing. So, looking at last week's video, did you agree with Ball Control's assessment of what was going to be strong, and what did you personally think was going to be really strong moving into this expansion?
So at the start of Un'Goro, when it was released, I thought that Pirate Warrior would still be really strong, even though they released the counter, which was the Darker Caller, which destroys pirates. I still thought Pirate Warrior would be one of the top tier decks. Taunt Warrior also looked really good because the quest reward is actually really powerful. And then there were some other decks, like the Quest Rogue looked good. And that's what was my first impressions. I thought Priest wouldn't be very good. And I think Ball Control last time, he said that Paladin would be good, and he was testing out a Murloc Paladin. And I've been testing with him. And I don't think it's as strong as he thinks it is, but it's pretty good. I've seen some players actually getting high ranks with an aggressive type of Paladin with the new Murloc cards.
Okay, so some differences within the team that not everyone quite agreeing on the best things. So after the expansion has now come out, you've had over a week to play it. What decks do you think are the strongest? Or like, what's surprising you and what's really underwhelming you this expansion?
So straight away I was quite surprised by the Priest Legendary, which was Lyra. This is the 5-mana 3/5, and whenever you cast a spell, you get a random Priest spell. And when this card was revealed, we all thought it would be terrible, and it turns out it's actually pretty good, because most Priest spells are actually quite cheap, maybe like 0 or 1 mana, and if you have the Radiant Elemental on board, then they cost 1 less. So in some situations, you can just play Radiant Elemental and Lyra and chain a bunch of spells and get so much value into your hand, whilst also applying pressure to the board by removing minions, buffing health, other stuff like that. So that really surprised me, and Priest is a lot better than we thought it would be, possibly a stable tier 2 deck. In terms of other classes, we thought the Rogue Legendary would also be quite bad. The plant, like Sherazin, I think, Corpse Flower, which is the 5/3, which it turns into a seed when it dies, and it's kind of always there. We thought that would just be too slow or too unreliable, but people have made Miracle Rogue decks which really make use of that card, and it's amazing to see the meta has been quite shaken up after Un'Goro.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle Rogue barely resembles itself at this point. There are a few things that are the same, but a lot less questing and a lot more, like you say, Sherazin coming in. It's definitely interesting. Now, when people think of Ness, they think of Priest. What do you think of Priest in this expansion? Is it going to be a class that is competitively viable?
I think in terms of Priest, Un'Goro is sort of like a middle ground, because there was a time where Priest was really good, and that was around Nexramus, where Undertaker Priest was one of the top tier decks. I think that was really strong. And then at the time around TGT, when we had Light Bomb Priests and like kind of controlled decks, which were really good against Secret Paladin and Patron meta, that was also when Priest was really good. And then after that, Priest kind of fell off. There was N'Zoth Priest, Cthulhu Priest. None of them were really like top tier. They were kind of just there. People were trying new things because it looked cool. And then when Un'Goro came around, Priest kind of came back into the meta. It's still not the top tier deck, or it's still not tier 1, I feel, but there's definitely some decks which make use of Priest in a really good way, and it looks like they finally incorporated the whole Divine Spirit in a Fire combo into Priest in a playable deck, because that's usually a combo for new players, because it's basic cards and they always do that with Priest when they get them. But that combo is actually working out pretty well now in normal decks, because the Radiant Elemental means your spells cost 1 less, and you can do some crazy things with them. Yeah, so I think Priest is in an okay spot.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. Priest is looking pretty good coming into this expansion. Now, the big question, are you going to make it for the Torpedo Trio? Ball Control won Season 1, Jambrave won Season 2. Is this the magical Ness season?
Well, considering that they both won a Premiership, I feel like I have to win one now. We've got to finish off the trio, so Ball Control won Season 1, Jambrave won Season 2, and I think it's my chance to win Season 3. And my standing right now is pretty good, so I'm 2-1 in the Swiss. So I think I've got a good chance of qualifying to the next stage. I just need one more win in 3 games, and I think that's easily doable. And then once I'm in the next stage, it'll be challenging, but I believe that I can do it. And even if I don't come first and take the trophy home, I'd be happy with the top 4 placement.
Top 4 is definitely going to be the place to be. Good luck anyway, Ness. It has been a pleasure having you on the show this week.
Yep, thanks for having me, and see you later.
Alright, that just about wraps it up for another episode of Munch on This. Make sure to subscribe to the ESL UK YouTube channel if you are enjoying the content, and also don't forget to tune in on April the 17th, Monday evening at 7 PM BST, where you can join in with the 4th week of the ESL Premiership for Hearthstone. That's over at twitch.tv/ESL_Hearthstone. With that, you guys have been munched, and I'll see you next week.